What's up guys, welcome back to another Call of Duty Warzone loadout video. Today we're going to be going over the recommended SMGs by Raven Software. You may or may not have noticed when going to select your SMG that there is a recommended tab just underneath the gun. This means that this gun has been recommended to you by Raven Software as a contender for a top tier viable gun, or meta contender. So today we're going to be going over these guns. They're in order of what I think is the top, down to the bottom. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. So first up on the list is the Armored Guerrero. As you may have noticed just then, this isn't actually one of the recommended weapons, but I had to put it in at the beginning because it is, in my opinion, the best SMG in the game at the moment. And we're going to go over this build. This build here, for me, is something I've built out to be something that's useful for anybody, not just pros, not just people with super good recoil control, not just super sweaty players. This is an all-round good build for anybody that enjoys using SMGs close quarters in the game. So we've got the recoil booster for that additional fire rate, the precision barrel. You can use the body, but the controllability or the accuracy is vastly decreased. Slate reflector, obviously you can pick optic of your choosing. No stock selected at all because you will get better movement speed. You don't need any additional perks from this, but you can select the folding or the skeletal if you want additional aim walking speed, aim down sight speed, initial fire recoil control. So either of those are good choices, but I found that you actually get better movement speed without the stock. So up for perks, for better torso damage, we're choosing Vital, Quick for additional sprint speed, Tape Grip for better movement speed, 64 round is the way to go for the Krosnik. You can use the 55 round, but you do lose out on that ADS speed. Additional reload time will be applied as a penalty also. Hollow point rounds for additional limb damage, and the SG98 Compact Grip for that aim walking speed, reduced scope sway bob. This will help if you are using any of the optics and not an iron sight. You can swap this out for a hand stop. A lot of these underbarrels, as you'll see as we go through, are very interchangeable down to preference. So I'd start with these builds and swap out either the barrel or the underbarrel first to try and tune it to your preference. Next up on the list is the fan favourite Black Ops Cold War MP5. So for this is a great build for movement speed and up close and personal. So we've got the agency suppressor for that sound suppression, keeping you off the minimap, extra bullet velocity, effective damage range, and vertical recoil control. We don't need a barrel for this gun. We're using the Tiger Team Spotlight for additional movement speed and aim walking speed. Low stock here for sprint to fire time. The 50 round mag for that ammo capacity, and the Jungle Grip for aim down sight speed and flinch resistance. Flinch resistance is a current recurring theme throughout these, as the flinch on ARs at the moment is extremely high in Season 5.5, the last ever season of Warzone 1. So it's really good to try and combat that where we can. I'm not going to go over the rest of the loadouts. This is just purely a video focusing on SMGs, so we'll just stick to these builds. Next up, the tried and tested, the MP40. I was personally running this from Season 1 to 4, basically, before I tried any other guns. And this build has really worked for me. Recoil booster again, short barrel. The Krosnik still has some viability, additional accuracy and reduced sway and gun bob. But really you want to be going for the short barrel for that effective extra damage range, bullet velocity, etc. Slate reflector, remove stock for better hip fire. Brace and Quick for better initial recoil control. So you can use Perfectionist for recoil control, but personally the initial fire and recoil on this gun is more of a challenge to control than the recoil itself, so we go for that. Taped Grip for better movement speed, weapon swap speed, etc. 45 Guerrero is the way to go, always has been the way to go. Hollow point for that additional limb damage, and hand stop. As I said, the grips on these are interchangeable, so I'd start with this base build and swap that out, tuning it to your preference. Next on the list is the P90. The P90, this is built slightly like an AR, so you get better mid-range. It's not as good hip fire, so we're going for the tactical suppressor, keep you off the minimap, sound suppression. The Forge Tack Barrel, extra damage, range, bullet velocity and recoil control. The Tack Laser to try and give you a little bit better aim down sight speed. Granular grip tape and stippled grip tape. Again, this is a great choice. This is something that's been in the game since Season 1 of Modern Warfare and is still hitting hard in Season 5.5. Raven are recommending this gun. This is a build that I like, so let me know what you think about this build. Next on the list, the RA225. So I haven't used this gun personally much apart from the ground loot, but it is one of the recommended builds, so I wanted to throw it in here. This is a blueprint that I was given at some stage, so this isn't a build I necessarily recommend, but you can build all of these SMGs from Vanguard out in a very similar way. So if you look at some of the other guns, you'll see what attachments work. They're pretty much copy and paste. So give this gun a go because it does hit hard. It does have slightly harder to control recoil, but it's a very hard hitting gun and definitely something to try if you do have it leveled up. The Blitzer. The Blitzer hasn't made it too high up on my list, mainly out of error, to be honest with you. The Blitzer is still a strong contender and still recommended by Raven Software. We're going to go over this build. It's got a recoil booster. We've got the 17-inch barrel. This can be changed for the 9-inch barrel, the Johnson barrel. Both very good. This one's probably slightly better for recoil control and accuracy. If you're playing a little bit sweatier, I'll swap it out for the Johnson 9-inch barrel. The Magnus iron sights are very good. I enjoy using them, but you can obviously swap this out for a slate reflector. The remove stock will give you that better recoil control. Perfectionist for the more recoil control. It is quite, because of the fire rate, it is a bit of a bobby gun. Quick for the movement speed. Taped for, again, more movement speed and weapon swap speed, sprint to fire time. The Guerrero 54 is probably the way to go for recoil control accuracy. Some people do use the 72, but I think really the trade-offs aren't there. I'd stick with the 54. Hollow point for that extra limb damage, and hand stop again for the recoil control. A nice one, a nice alternative here is the compact to stop that bob, because it does have quite a lot of bob. But again, try it out and tweak it to your preference. Last on the list, as a bit of a bonus extra, is the UGR. As you can see, level 2, I haven't used this gun, I don't have it leveled up, but it is one of the recommended guns. I've been killed by it multiple times on Rebirth Island, and it's definitely a strong contender. So if you do by chance have this leveled up, again, bonus, put it in here because it's recommended. Don't have a build for you, but definitely check it out. And that pretty much wraps us up for today. This will probably be the last ever loadout video for Warzone 1, but there's plenty more content to come for Warzone 2, daily streams, so make sure you subscribed. Drop a like on this video because it does help me out. Let me know in the comments if I missed a gun or there's a build that you think could be better in this, because I'm interested to know and we obviously want to share that with the community. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and got something from it. Again, subscribe if you're new, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.